Good evening, and welcome to tonight's bedtime history story. Today we are talking about the unsolved mystery of Agent 355. Amid the shadows of the Revolutionary War, a mysterious number flickered, 355. This number represented not just a person, but a female agent hidden within the mists of history. Her existence was rare and enigmatic. In an era dominated by men, female spies were exceedingly uncommon, and her story is filled with suspense and uncertainty. The name of Agent 355 scarcely appears in official records, yet her actions may have quietly altered the course of history. Each piece of intelligence she delivered acted like an invisible thread, guiding the moves between the Continental and British armies. Who was she? What did she do? What was her fate? These questions remain unanswered, leaving an enduring aura of mystery. In 1775, the American Revolutionary War erupted. Colonists, dissatisfied with the rule of the British Parliament and the King, especially regarding taxes and rights, took up arms. The war was not only a contest of gunpowder and battlefield skill, but also a struggle of intelligence and strategy. Off the battlefield, the acquisition and use of information could determine victory or defeat. Washington's Continental Army was often at a disadvantage in terms of equipment and numbers, making intelligence especially crucial. Every piece of information could mean avoiding an ambush or winning a decisive battle. In this environment, spies and covert operations became indispensable. To monitor British troop movements, George Washington established a secret intelligence network known as the Culper Ring. This network spanned New York, Connecticut, and surrounding areas, with key members exchanging intelligence through secret letters, codes, and couriers. Most members of the Culper Ring were male merchants or soldiers, using their occupations and social connections to gather information. However, the network also included female participants, the most mysterious of whom was Agent 355. She leveraged the underestimated role of women to undertake high-risk missions, providing indispensable intelligence to the Continental Army. During the Revolutionary War, intelligence often determined strategic positioning. The British Army, though well-equipped, had limited understanding of colonial society, while the Continental Army, despite being underpowered, could gain the upper hand through spy networks. For instance, intelligence provided by the Culper Ring allowed Washington to retreat in time, avoid ambushes, or exploit weaknesses in enemy deployments. Agent 355's involvement further enhanced this intelligence system. She not only gathered information in social settings, but may also have delivered critical letters. Though her actions were covert, they may have directly influenced the outcomes of battles. Some historians believe that 355 may have been a woman from New York's high society. Familiar with social etiquette, she could attend balls, dinners, and elite gatherings, providing an ideal cover. On the surface, she appeared to be a graceful socialite, yet behind the scenes she observed British officers and gathered sensitive information. This social advantage allowed her to access key figures without raising suspicion. Her identity may have been meticulously concealed, with even family or friends unaware of her true mission. This dual existence made her an indispensable member of the Culper Ring. Another theory suggests that 355 may have come from a family with a history of espionage. Her family could have already been connected to the Continental Army or the Culper Ring, and she may have been trained from a young age in covert operations and intelligence gathering. This background explains her adeptness in navigating the complex intelligence network. She knew how to conceal her identity, distinguish credible information from false leads, and securely transmit secrets. Compared to ordinary women, she displayed greater professionalism and caution in carrying out missions. Of course, some scholars argue that 355 could have been an ordinary woman with an entirely unknown identity. Through intelligence, courage, and wit, she became a key member of the spy network. This possibility heightens her mystique. Her actions were silent, yet may have changed the course of history at critical moments. Her existence reminds us that many important forces in history do not come from prominent status, but from the courage and wisdom of ordinary individuals. Some studies suggest that 355 may not have been a single person, but a collective codename for multiple women, used to protect their true identities. This strategy is not uncommon in spy networks. Codenames mislead enemies and ensure operational security. This means that the fragmented records of 355 in historical archives may originate from tasks carried out by different individuals, yet appear to the outside world as the actions of one mysterious woman. Regardless of the scenario, her mystique and significance remain undeniable. Agent 355's core contribution lay in collecting and delivering critical intelligence through covert operations. She may have moved between New York City and British-controlled areas, using social events or market activities to observe enemy troop movements, deployments, and high-ranking officer plans. She transmitted intelligence through secret channels to the core members of the Culper Ring. Once verified, the information reached Washington, providing the Continental Army with invaluable strategic advantages. Each message she delivered could determine the outcome of a battle, and 355 assumed immense risk in this process. Historical research suggests that 355's actions may have directly influenced the exposure of Benedict Arnold's treason. Arnold, originally a general for the Continental Army, planned to defect to the British, which could have resulted in a catastrophic defeat if undiscovered. Through her social connections or secret correspondence, 355 conveyed suspicious information about Arnold to the Culper Ring, which then relayed it to Washington. This indirect yet crucial contribution highlights her irreplaceable role in the course of history. Agent 355's gender offered unique advantages in carrying out missions. The enemy often underestimated women, assuming they were merely housewives or socialites. This allowed her to access British camps, social gatherings, or markets without arousing suspicion. This underestimated role enabled her to gather intelligence that male spies could not easily obtain while minimizing the risk of exposure. She cleverly leveraged this advantage to enhance the efficiency and security of the entire intelligence network. The missions 355 undertook were extremely perilous. Discovery by the British could have led to capture, interrogation, or execution. Yet she persisted, demonstrating extraordinary courage and loyalty. Though her actions were covert, they may have directly influenced the course of battles, rescuing the Continental Army from peril. Historical records do not detail each of her operations, but it is plausible that she repeatedly risked her life to deliver intelligence, with each successful mission potentially affecting crucial moments in the war. 355's contributions went beyond individual missions. Her presence and actions had a profound impact on the Revolutionary War's intelligence system. Her efforts enabled the Continental Army to anticipate British plans, adjust tactics, avoid ambushes, and make informed decisions in critical battles. It was this invisible force that made her an indispensable figure in the war. Though her name remains largely unknown, her influence was far-reaching and enduring. The ultimate fate of Agent 355 is scarcely documented in historical records. Her name appears in only a few letters and then vanishes. No official documents indicate whether she was captured, injured, or returned home safely, leaving her ending shrouded in mystery. This lack of information has made 355 a subject of long-standing debate among historians and enthusiasts. Every clue could be a lead or a misdirection, leaving researchers to navigate through a fog in their quest to uncover her fate. Some historians speculate that 355 may have been exposed during a mission and captured by the British. Female spies at the time faced extreme risks upon capture, including prolonged imprisonment or execution. Research suggests she may have been confined aboard the notorious prison ships in New York. Conditions there were harsh, with scarce food and rampant disease. Mortality rates among prisoners were extremely high. If 355 was held on such a vessel, her fate may have been grim and brief. Another possibility is that she vanished into anonymity, quietly disappearing from public view. She may have returned to a normal life, perhaps marrying and raising a family, leaving no trace behind. The sparse records of 355 may only reflect evidence of her missions, while she herself no longer appears in public documents. This disappearance enhances her legendary aura. She may have been among the earliest female spies, completing her missions with intelligence and courage in the gaps of history, yet never having her name remembered. Whether 355 was captured or went into hiding, her story remains shrouded in suspense. Historians attempt to reconstruct her life through archives, letters, wartime diaries, and speculation, but each investigation feels like groping through a fog, never fully revealing the truth. This unresolved ending makes 355 not only a historical figure, but also a symbol of the unsung heroes who quietly contributed in the streams of history. Her mystery and courage inspire later generations to explore, imagine, and honor her legacy. There has been ongoing debate among historians about whether Agent 355 truly existed. Some scholars argue that she was indeed a key female member of the Culper Ring, leaving behind fragmentary but credible archival evidence. Others contend that 355 may have been a misinterpretation of a codename or a mistaken record in historical documents, with no single person actually corresponding to 355. This debate arises from the scarcity of historical records. Her name appears in only a few letters, with no direct personal files or official documents, making it difficult for researchers to confirm her true identity or life story. Some studies suggest that 355 may not have been a single individual, but rather a collective codename for multiple female spies. In espionage networks of the time, codenames were commonly used to confuse enemies and protect true identities. This theory explains why the records of 355's actions are fragmented and inconsistent, and also accounts for her mysterious disappearance. Different women may have carried out missions at different times, all attributed under the name 355. Debates in academia have also influenced the portrayal of 355 in popular culture. In novels, TV series, and films, she is often depicted as a single mysterious woman, which contrasts with the scholarly theory of a collective identity. Nonetheless, cultural works bring her to life through artistic interpretation, enhancing her legendary aura and giving the public a more tangible sense of Revolutionary War espionage. Historians must balance factual investigation with understanding her cultural symbolism. Researchers studying 355 primarily rely on letters from the Culper Ring, contemporary private diaries, and a few official records. They must decode hidden information, analyze timelines, and infer mission contexts. These methods are rigorous, yet each conclusion carries uncertainty, as the evidence is fragmented and potentially misleading. This research challenge highlights the unique nature of espionage history. The more secret the actions, the fewer traces they leave, yet their historical impact can be immense. Agent 355 exemplifies this uniqueness. In the 20th century, Agent 355 gradually entered the realm of literature. Novelists, historians, and best-selling authors began portraying her as a mysterious, intelligent, and courageous female spy. Although historical records are limited, these literary works endowed her with a vivid personality and legendary aura. Some novels depict her skillfully infiltrating New York balls to acquire British secrets. Others show her discreetly observing enemy movements in city markets. These stories transform 355 from a vague archival figure into a living legend, sparking readers' curiosity about the covert operations behind the Revolutionary War. Visual media further brought 355 into the public eye. In TV series, films, and documentaries, she is often portrayed as a fearless female hero. In historical dramas, she moves between British and continental forces, using intelligence and courage to influence the course of battles. This visualization allows audiences to grasp her role more directly while reinforcing her symbolic significance as a female spy. On screen, she is imbued with emotions, motives, and actions, becoming not just a historical enigma, but a cultural icon. In recent years, comics and video games have incorporated elements of 355. In historical adventure games, players can take on the role of a female spy similar to 355, carrying out intelligence gathering and covert missions. This interactive experience allows younger audiences to engage directly with her courage and intelligence while immersing themselves in the Revolutionary War's historical atmosphere. Comics use visual storytelling to portray 355 as both mysterious and heroic, bringing her legend vividly to life. Across literature, film, and games, 355 has become a symbol of female strength and intelligence. She reminds us that throughout history, countless women quietly contributed, shaping the course of events. Her story transcends historical fact, serving as an important symbol for modern society's reevaluation of women's roles and courage. Agent 355 is not only a female spy of the Revolutionary War, she has become a symbol of courage, intelligence, and dedication. Her figure traverses the mists of history, reminding us that behind major events often dominated by men, women also quietly influenced the course of history with equal determination. Her mystery and legend transcend concrete historical facts. Though we may never fully reconstruct her identity and actions, the spirit she embodies remains timeless, silently and resolutely shaping the world. The story of 355 is full of suspense. Her disappearance, secret missions, and mysterious identity leave endless room for imagination. She teaches us that history belongs not only to prominent figures, but also to those who work quietly in the shadows. Her existence reminds us today that courage and intelligence are not confined by gender. Every woman who contributes silently may, like 355, alter the course of the world at critical moments. Agent 355 may forever remain a mystery in history, yet it is precisely this mystery that gives her legend its power. Her story inspires us to explore, reflect, and honor unsung heroes. Regardless of the truth, her spirit transcends time and space, becoming a symbol for all who cherish freedom, wisdom, and courage. That's it for today's story. I hope you enjoyed this journey through history and felt the wisdom and courage of those mysterious figures. Now, it's time to relax and get a good night's sleep. Remember to turn off the lights and drift into sweet dreams. We'll explore more historical mysteries together next time. Good night.